It's not often we get to talk about something completely new in fly fishing.
What a great fish. Wow. That's a great fish. Nice job.
Fish on. Oh my gosh. So I should start off by saying this is not clickbait, because I posted a few times about using this particular fly in a particular way and the success I was finding with it, and people were like, no, that's not how you fish that fly, that's not how you fish it. And I got a ton of feedback, which led me to believe that most people that fly fish don't realize how effective this fly can be using this particular technique. So stick with me and I'll share with you what exactly that is towards the end of the video. First, a little backstory. I fished Pyramid Lake probably now about 5 years ago for the first time. I was on the hunt for these giant Lahontan cutthroat trout, and I had to go a few times before I finally got into them, but I ran into a group of fish biologists out of California and now have been going to Pyramid Lake almost every single year for the past 5 years since meeting them. And there's a particular way that one of the people, or most of the people actually in this group, would fish for these big Lahontan cutthroat. And they just kept catching fish after giant fish. So finally I was like, what the heck are you guys doing? And there's a particular guide that fishes Pyramid Lake that swears by it. And there's a specific technique that works, because you can do it one way and maybe get a few fish, but you do it this way, it's just lights out, right? The fish cannot resist this fly. It's crazy. So I caught a ton of fish on my last trip using this particular fly in this particular way. And I'm not talking little fish, I'm talking tank-size trophy fish. It's large. Oh. You ready?
Yeah.
We're filming, right?
Yep.
Look at this guy. Fish on. Oh my God, dude. So I thought, is it possible that this fly and this strategy only works at Pyramid Lake? So I thought, I'm going to go to one of my favorite local fisheries and I'm going to try it out. And it worked. I ended up catching on a very slow day in the middle of winter, super cold, right? Typically fish aren't super active when it's this cold out, but I ended up landing 3 fish using this fly and then this way. All right, so now I'm going to tell you about it, right? So typically a gurgler fly is used for topwater. It can be very effective. However, if you use a gurgler fly on a short leader in either an intermediate or full sink line, it works every single time. Every time that I tie this particular fly on, this gurgler fly, and it can be a multitude of colors. I kind of prefer both the purple and black kind of combinations, but chartreuse works. Pretty much anything and everything works with this particular gurgler fly. If you're tying this gurgler or looking for them, you do want to have that little bit of a rudder in the front of the hook, because that really does enhance the action of this fly. So intermediate line, sink line, no more than a 4-foot leader. I tie it right at the end of the intermediate or sinking line. You don't want to have too much leader, because then that fly will want to float up and get too high up in the water column. But a short leader, usually about 4 feet, to this particular fly. And when you strip this through the water, that little fin that's on top of the gurgler, it just makes it dart around and twist around. And you do want to have heavier line as well, because I found anything lighter than 3X, it wants to twist, because that thing is just going all over the place. You could either have it as a trailer, so if you're fishing like a Sparkle Minnow, then you tie about a 2-foot long piece off of that and have it as a trailer on an intermediate or sinking line. But anything shorter than that, it wants to tangle itself around the front fly as well. But pull that in and holy smokes, super effective. And what's crazy is when I talked to people about doing it this way, people are like, that's not how you fish that fly. It's a topwater fly. Well, guess what? you could put that on a sinking or an intermediate line and it is lights out. So the next time you're out there fishing for trout, I want you to tie on a gurgler or tie a gurgler, because I got pretty good at tying it. They're not hard to tie. It take maybe 5 minutes and you got one. And fish it this way and see what happens. I am very confident that you're gonna have success just like I did, both at Pyramid Lake and my local fishery. It is a great way to catch trout and a new way to catch trout. I'd like to try to maybe coin it, but I'm not sure what exactly I would call it, but it's the underwater gurgler, I guess. We'll go with that.